Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna do more floors on Tower 110, but before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe if you need the content. So this time we have another human team we're about to finish, so that's pretty good, just like 3 more videos. So today we have Sora, Azusa and Murasaki, and Sora here is going to be using Freykugel Samael, not the busted weapon. Yeah, I mean, this is just absurd. There's no need for me to showcase this weapon. It is just the best thing that you can equip to Sora. And as such, I want to give players other options. We know that she's currently the best DPS in the game, but if you have been playing for a long game, perhaps you have this one instead. And it is usable for sure. So, both 5 out of 5, both plus 15, these are critical damage increase, wind and fire magatamas with whatever attack magatamas on the subslot. Then, the basic enhancer, because we are going to use Freykugel Samael. Freykugel Samael has a very particular skill, let's say, or well, passive, that increases particle charge from attacks by 80% when 5 out of 5. And it has an active that costs 5 particles. And it deals damage. The important thing that you're gonna be able to spam this so much, and that's why we want the basic enhancer, so that we increase the particle charge even further. Foxfire to have HP recovery, and Yudachi to deal massive amount of damage. I mean, I could equip Flare Grudge instead of the basic, but I'm trying to use the active of the weapon. That's why. Even though it's not the most effective thing to do, and you can substitute this with Flame of Grudge, I'm gonna do it this way. Fujitsuki for the damage increase because there are mobs. Baretta because we have the weapons at 5 out of 5 plus 15, that means we're critting always or most of the times. And Ingrid for the active. If you don't want to go the active route, just substitute Ingrid for any other damage increase supporter. If you have the Momochi weapon, it is super easy to equip Susune. Otherwise, go with Estella, go with Granny, go with Nino. I mean, they're there to help you. Stats of the costumes. Stat training. And let's do the run. I won't say it's gonna be fast, this one in particular. It is not exactly fast on every enemy. It can be done. It definitely can be done, but it takes time on certain enemies, and sometimes the RNG won't help you clear the mobs. Okay, I just need to do this, and oof, look at that, horrible. I wasn't able to get too many stacks. Well, active of the supporter, then Yudachi active. Come on, Yudachi one more time. Oh, not hitting the crits, that's awful. Take this. Oof, I evaded too much. Well, just a couple more hits. A couple of HP recovery. Well, she died too fast. Well, it is what it is. I mean, Sora is strong. Now she is. Thanks to the weapon. But not only the weapon. I mean, part of the rework is pretty decent. Particularly Flare of Grudge. That was a good rework on that skill, yeah. A counter. Who would have thought of doing such a thing for a ranged attacker? Well, a reflective barrier, to be precise. I just use the active, and I just use the active yet again. And I'm gonna use this. And Yudachi. Then I use the active. I hit. I use the active. Come on. Do a hit. Come on. Ah, there. Yeah, because I wanna heal a little bit. The issue is that this is the risky part, because you don't heal that much from that particular boss. Nagi is not the greatest target for your healing, so careful there. Otherwise, you might die. And that's why you want to keep the enemies alive while you target Nagi, so that you have better HP recovery. There. Okay, I guess I'll use the active, because I already have particles at max, and now I can charge them once again. And I just need... Come on! Yes, there we go. Healing. It is not the best healing, but at least I have healing. Yeah, as I mentioned, I have Fuyutsuki on the main, but you can just equip Susune in case you go the Momochi weapon route. And that's going to be actually pretty good. And though I say that you should equip the Momochi weapon, you don't actually need it, because you naturally debuff the enemy. And it is a permanent debuff, so yeah, you can equip Susune just like that. Active and done, yeah. I love Frekugel's Avail. I mean, it is not a busted weapon, but it is such a fun weapon to play with. Yeah, I always endorse people using this one. Well, in any case, let me save this build, because I didn't. And now, I'm gonna remove it, just in case something goes bad with the video. Yep, this one. So, Azusa. We're using here the Yume Midori. Yume Midori is going to be the butterfly weapon. This is 5 out of 5 and plus 15. This one 5 out of 5 and plus 15. And let me tell you, she has a plethora of options that you can equip. She has the butterfly weapon, the decisive weapon, the character release weapon, and the Momochi weapon. All of those are pretty useful. If you equip any of those, that's great. If you don't have any, just go with a bit stick, that's fine. As for the Magatamas, we're using critical water Magatamas, whatever attack Magatamas on the subslot. And now, let's go with the skills. Shindara to deal damage. I mean, I am not using like the most limited busted equipment, because Blue is a difficult color to build if you don't have limited gear. Just so that you know, guys. I mean, for mixed stages, it is easier, way easier for stages with only one kind of enemies. But when there are a mixture of demons, machines, and humans, it becomes a little bit more difficult to build, and you need those busted, limited supporters. And we're not using those in particular, so this is not gonna deal the most damage, though it is a damaging tool nonetheless. Then we have Gale Slash for control and Double Team for dealing more hits and healing in particular. Now, something important, we are gonna abuse the speed increase that this weapon gives. If you don't have this weapon, as I mentioned, it doesn't matter, but I am abusing it, and the performance may vary. Now, we're using 2 seasonal supporters and 1, let's say, campaign supporter, because this is not exactly like those events. Getting this is not something that people can do if you didn't participate on the respective events. So keep that in mind. They are not exactly F2P supporters, but they are not exactly like pay-to-win supporters either. They are a mixture of both. Now, Massacre Kunai to gain a regen, gain defense, have an attack buff, and have another extra attack buff with the active. Sakura to gain damage reduction and increase the damage of my familiar. And lastly, Asagi to increase my HP, and that's going to make it easy to proc the regen here. So I become tankier, extremely tanky, and yet I have some amount of damage, so I can deal with the enemies. And this weapon naturally gains buffs, attack buffs, critical damage buffs. So it is really useful. Start off the customs, start training, and let's do the run. This one is pretty safe for the most part. There's like a small section of the battle where you might be at risk, and only if you use the active on the wrong moment. So yeah, now I'm just gonna, come on, there, nice. So I start by using the active, and now I can just use Shindara. Preferably you use the active before your ulti and Shindara, the active of the supporter, so that you deal the most damage possible with this skill. As you can see, I am not dealing the most damage, but it is working. There. And look how fast it is. I am not using the basic enhancer. I could use the basic enhancer, but honestly, I don't like the attack pattern of that particular basic enhancer because it changes. Some just give them like a speed buff, an attack buff, an increased particle charge, and some other change how the basic work, and I don't like Azusa's in particular. That's why I don't use it. But if you like it, use it. It is an option. There. Nice. As you can see, it is a pretty safe run. I mean, whenever I'm on blue, I either use the seasonals or the limited, because that's the only thing that you can do in this particular stage. In a pure stage full of human, full of demon, you can use just the big 4. It's not the big 3 anymore, it's the big 4. Because of White. White is an excellent anti-human supporter. I'm gonna use the ultimate. You can use, if it's a short stage, you can use Arabella just to obliterate the boss. So yeah, as I mentioned, it is not as difficult to build blue when trying to abuse only one trait, one, I mean, racial target, I guess? I don't know how to say what I want to say. But it is a little bit more difficult when it is a mixed stage. Let's see. Yeah, and as expected, I am taking some time over here because, well, I don't have too many supporters that increase my damage. In fact, I have to use the active to have like a decent amount, but it is risky, so I don't wanna. Not until it's the right time to do so. I just reduce the speed. Come on. There. 1, 2. And this should do it. I mean, I could use the ultimate, but I'll only use it in case I... What happened over there? Why can't I? No. Let me... I cannot use Shindara, God! There. I have been trying to use Shindara, and I only use it once. Well, as I was saying, I'm not gonna use the ulti unless I beat Kirara. Because, I mean, it is not a dire situation, unlike with Nagi. Nagi is very annoying if you don't have the most explosive damage or tankiness. But it is becoming really annoying that these dum-dums don't let me use Shindara. But now I can. Okay, just Shindara. There. And now take the ulti. Yes. Just like that. As you can see, it is pretty safe because I am using 3 defensive supporters. So obviously I'm not gonna die with this. And now, for the last one, we are going limited. Just to show a point here. Everyone knows that Murasaki, it is probably the easiest character to use, and she's immortal on green because she has so many sources of HP recovery. But when you are on red or blue, you still have HP recovery, and pretty good HP recovery. Just that people don't usually pay attention to that. Here I'm using Rudolph Crusher because I don't have enough copies of Hawija. Hawija would be the better option. And Coral Cliff, if you have this, you can use it just as a bait stick because it was F2P, so it's fine. If you want to go red, Machinery X is the best option. And do not use the Momochi weapon, not with this character, god. Now, both weapons 5 out of 5 plus 14. The critical damage increase water Magatamas with whatever attack Magatamas. As for skills, we use Fuji no Jin, the HP recovery skill that you can use in any color. Better use on red because it deals increased damage and that heals you even more. Then we're using Senpu because of the amount of multi-hits that it does. And lastly, we use Setsuga just to obliterate the enemies because of this huge damage multiplier. As for supporters, we're using over here the Founding 3 with Ana Rose. The Founding 3 to become tankier, get damage reduction, and that critical buff from the extra passive. Then Ana Rose for the critical damage, and Azusa for the speed and penetration. The thing is, blue doesn't have that many options for generic damage increase. That's why you see more, let's say, pay to win builds on blue for this particular video, because we have a mixture of enemies. If it wasn't the case, it would be extremely easy to just grab one of the good anti-trade with Arabella and just obliterate everything, but that's not the case. So let's use it. Let's use this build. I think I missed the custom and stat training, but I'll do it in a minute if I don't forget. Well, first of all, we start by using Setsuga. No, it's Senpu. It's Senpu. Right, that's Senpu. Then Setsuga. And I'm gonna use the active. Why not? Now I take a hit and I heal. Hey, where are you going? Where are you going? No, no, no. You are going to take the hits. All the hits, you know? Yeah, I mean, it is not devastating damage. As you can see, I'm not two-shotting Murasaki because it's Murasaki, obviously. But I have so much sustain. You want to keep the mobs alive, as you can see, because the mobs are going to give you a ton of HP. The bosses are not giving you any HP, so careful there. I mean, they are, but it is just too little. Just like that, and... You didn't say the magic word. There. Now I start by doing this, and I'm going to kill the mobs. So I'd rather start healing myself now. Hey, over here. Nice. Oh, nice. Really, really nice. Sisa-chan. Very nice. And... well, a couple more hits. I could use the ulti. Yeah, I could. But I won't. I'll just use the active. Come on, over here. Nice. Just a little bit more. Why are you going to the other side? Don't. And there we go. Nice. Excellent. Yeah, I really want the limited weapon. the At that time I didn't have a stable job, and I mean I was a student, so yeah, I wasn't able to roll on the gacha. But I mean it's because I do like the Beyblade skills. That's what I want that weapon. I mean I have one copy, but one copy is not gonna deal enough damage. Not for this kind of a stage. And it is so fun to Beyblade stuff. With Oboro, with Murasaki, with other characters who do Beyblades. Yeah, sure. I need healing. Yeah, I love the healing. As long as there are mobs, it is gonna be extremely easy. Fujinojin. There. Setsuga. Woo! Done. Now I use this and I use Senpu. Setsuga again. Oof, that didn't hit. No, Fujinojin, not Setsuga. This is Setsuga. And ultimate. I mean, it is the mobs. Who cares about the mobs? Oh, you're alive. And that should do it. Nice. So yeah, Murasaki is more than just green, just so that you know. So, just, I think, let me check the countdown. These 3. Just 2 more videos, and then we're gonna pass to a more F2P strategies. Just so that you know about the F2P strategies, they are very repetitive because they rely on the same kind of supporters. We're gonna be using basically, let's see. For example, on red we have the option of Homura. We have, let's see, who else? I'm not gonna go by color, just by appearance. We have Ichika. Where is the other one? The other green one. Here, Kotone. We have Granny. We have Nino over here. We have Susune, Shirayuki in case you're a demon, Stella in most cases. There's plenty of options, and there's also, I mean, let me know in the comments what you want. Do you want me only to use event supporters that were given to us on events like this one, like Reina? Or is it okay for me to use permanent gacha supporters? Not limited, obviously limited are out of the picture. And seasonal, I'm gonna avoid seasonals, or I'll try to avoid seasonals for most situations, because as I mentioned, we can just rely on the 3 good supporters that we have for each color, and we can do builds for a ton of characters. Not everyone is gonna be able to do so. Like many of the builds that I have done rely on Kurenai compensating for the flaws of some characters, but well, anyways, that's about it for today. I hope you find this useful. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!